Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on,
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to vote. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like, damn, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on stopping, got this bitch off the hand, got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. Hey. One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settling? See, you locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's One West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause it's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat. Hope you like it well done. Got them killers rolling with me and they all red rum, red rum, red rum. Got you fuckers scared some. Get the banging on this beat till my fucking head numb. Black Glock, red drum, black and yellow air ones. Homie, you ain't got a vest. I suggest you wear one.
Told these niggas we was going up. They was doing a lot of talking. Now these niggas ain't saying shit.
Feeling like a legend in this shit. Lil nigga, I'm past veteran. Never feeling third. Lil nigga, I'm past second. Guns, I gotta have them all like Ash Ketchum. Shotty break a nigga ribs up like his wife left him. We all stepping. Kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS. A mean right. That's mean right. We build different, you know the vibes. And we something authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a kind. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowing by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on stopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to vote shit.
All right, everybody like, whoa, ugly motherfucker. What's going on? What's going on, everybody, man? All right, we back for another week. I hope everybody's week was good. I hope y'all had a good weekend. It goes by super fast. Before we get started, is there anybody in the class that has any questions or, concerns, or would you just like to make a comment before we go ahead and get started? Of course, I'll be holding down the class tonight, but Charles of Power will be Thursday and next Tuesday. You know what I mean? Just so everybody know, you know what I mean, we got we got the classes rocking out down here, of course. Monday, and through the rest of the week. We also got Saturday Sabbath service. So, if you in the Delaware area or anything like that, and you want to drop through or whatever, then come on down and we'll get it on. All right. All right, cool. So today's class is we have to get back to our natural mind, right? Now, it's not rocket science or anything like that, but it is, man. I mean, it's definitely something that we definitely going to need to know and understand, especially if we want our brotherhood to be where we need it to be. All right. Let me see. Tamika Shanta. All right. Sharab Renard, what's going on? Marco Paf. Salakia, I can't see that. Salakia, if I'm jacking that up. Yashar Banath, huh? We say? Maraka Paf, Salakia, I can't see nothing with these glasses on. Zaram, what's going on, Zaram? All right. Make sure y'all stay. Everybody that needs to get their you trying to get your name or whatever, make sure you stick around for the whole class. All right. Tazalaya, what's going on? Tazalaya, just starting paint, always in the building. All right. And yeah, we're gonna get it on. All right. So if you need to get any you got to get your name or whatever, then stick around, right? Don't get your name and then never tune in to class again. All right. All right. So I did work on this one today, man. I did some work on this one today. I went on there just on the sidebar, man. I went on Audible. I don't know if anybody has Audible, but like that's the app that I use for like audiobooks and different things like that. And as I see like people talk about books or whatever, I'll go and I'll get Audible. Audible's actually a good app. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but it's a good app if you want to get some reading done that you got to get done like in a short amount of time, because it'll tell you exactly how long it'll take to read the book. So like, if you can dedicate the specific time, then you can pretty much say when you'll have the book read or whatever. But they got the Apocrypha on there right now. On Audible, they got the Apocrypha. So, and it's the King James version of the Apocrypha. So, like, literally, like, all day, I've been, like, listening to the whole book of Ecclesiasticus. You know what I mean? But what I'm going to do is and to read the whole Apocrypha, I believe it's like 12 hours. 12 hours. So, I figure that if I get, if I dedicate at least a couple of hours, I should be able to get it done within, like, a week and a half. You know what I mean? So, that's pretty dope. So, that's just, if anybody wanted to know about that or whatever. All right. So take this off. It's getting hot in here. Y'all got the heat on going home to Africa. All right. Yeah, if you good. Is y'all that cold? Yeah? I to Raw like, man, it's dead winter, huh? Oh man. All right. So remember to share it to all social media platforms and we'll be good to go, right? So what I wanted to talk about was what is natural, right? What is natural for us to do as a nation, right? Is to, it's natural for a black man, black woman, Hispanics, Native Indians, right? It's natural for us to want to build our kingdom up, right? It's like the basic thing that anybody would want, as a human being, right? And a part of a family or race, right? It would be to, build up your nation, right? And, make ourselves the principal interest in everything that we do, right? Now, I wanted to suggest, kind of go off of, man, like, how, like, y'all ever see that movie Shaka Zulu? Y'all seen that? All right. So Shaka Zulu, one thing that he did was and also, they have the book out too about Shaka Zulu or whatever. But one of the things that it was that he did in the movie was like he sent out his people, right, to go learn from like the Europeans and stuff like that when they came into Africa and things like that. But he didn't send them out to go learn about, you know, from the Europeans and learn things about them to just be ruled by them, right? He sent them out to get taught, you know, to learn different things and bring it back to their nation, right? And everything that he did in that movie was basically to further push his nation, right? And so if you've seen the movie, like, you know, we have to take those certain type of elements as it pertains to, like, you know, doing what we do for ourselves, doing what we you know, having ourself as the sole, you know, what's that word I'm looking for? The sole what's the word? Give me a word, y'all. You know, where we are basically the ones that are going to only benefit off of, you know, what we're doing, right? Right, beneficiary, right? I got the word in my head. I can't even really think about it, right? Nah, not quite, but no sweat, right? It'll come to me. So the thing is, right, we have to, as brothers and sisters, man, in the nation of Israel, we gotta start to prefer each other. We got to start to prefer our own people. We got to start to, you know, do those things. And we can't make our highest aspirations in life to work for another nation, right? To like, because really that's what really our highest aspirations in life, right? What is our highest aspirations in life as a people that we see like growing up, that we've seen growing up? It's go to work, right? Go to school, go to work, get a job, right? Go to work, go to school, get a job, go to college, get a better job, right? And that's what we see as, you know, we see as prosperity in America. But with that same ideology, like that we've been taught throughout these years or whatever, like that's not what our aspirations should be. Our aspiration should be brotherhood and sisterhood, to come back together and understand the power that we have within each other. All right. All right. So let me get a scripture, right? Let me get all right. I want to save this one. I'm gonna save this one. All right. Nah, you know what? We'll go there first then. All right. Ezekiel 16. Let me get Ezekiel 16. Ezekiel chapter 16. All right. Now, if y'all got any questions, y'all go ahead and type them in. All right. All right. Let me see. Let me get there with you right real quick. All right. Ezekiel 16. Let me get 16 and 14. All right. So yeah. All right. So I need you to go nice and loud so that the people online can hear you. 16 and 14. Yeah. Ezekiel 16 and 14. Yeah. Yeah. No sweat. Ezekiel 16 and 14.
Come. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And thy renown went forth among the heathen for thy beauty.
Right. So this is talking about the men in our nation, and, you know, the renowned men, you know what I mean? The men with status, the men with money, you know, different, you know, men of renown, right? They went at what?
Went forth among the heathen
for
thy beauty.
For that beauty, right? And this is what we do here in America, right? We go after America for all the nice things that you can get by being a part of America, right? But what we got to do is we got to see all the beautiful things that America has to offer, and we have to separate ourselves from that. All right, go ahead.
For it was perfect through my comeliness, which I had put upon thee, saith Yahweh thy power.
Right. We didn't have to go after the beauty of, we didn't have to chase after the beauty of anything because we were beautiful. Right? Everything about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is beautiful. Right? The way we dress, the way we act, the way we talk, the way we dance, the way we, we interact with each other, right? The way we party, right? It's unlike anything else, right? Y'all ever seen like a party, like of other nations? It'd be looking weird, right? It's just not what we would consider, popping or lit. Those parties ain't lit like how our parties are, right? So what we have is very beautiful, but we desire to look on the beauty of the other nations. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. But thou didst trust in thy own beauty. And placed the harlot because of thy renown. Right. We what we played. What we are when it says that we played the harlot for the renown is that we essentially are groupies. You know how like a groupie will get with a brother who got money because he got a name for himself, so she's willing to have sex with him real easy because he got something or something that she want, a gold digger, right? That's what we've become to these other nations. Go ahead. And pours out thy fornications on everyone that passed by.
Yeah,
as it was.
Hold on, say that one more time. Where you at?
Verse 15.
15.
And pours out thy fornications on everyone that passed by. His it was.
Right. Just like we about to break down right here is heavy. And this is showing, the Lord is showing us how much of a whore we are as a nation. How degrading we are as a people. How we degrade ourselves just like a whore. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 16, and of thy garments thou didst take, and deckest thy high places with diverse colors, and placed the harlot thereupon. The like thing shall not come, neither shall it be so.
Right. Okay. So we've always tried to read it one more time.
Verse 16, and of thy garments thou didst take, and deckest thy high places with diverse colors, and placed the harlot thereupon. Right, our high places, man, the churches. We deck these churches out and we made them all nice and all glorious, right? But we've always played the harlot. No matter what we do, any philosophy that we take on, any type of reform that we look for, any type of begging for education, anything that we do, we always play the harlot, right? Go ahead. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so. Right, all of the wonderful things that we want, you know what I mean? All the things that we want from being a whore, right, to the other nations. We want those nice things, but those things ain't going to come. All right, read on. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given thee, and madest to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them. Hold on, let me see. Let me see which one I want. Salakia. Let me see. Let me get Ezekiel 16. Let me see. I'm gonna skip you down to 26. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 26. Thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and hast increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger. Right. So this is the Lord, because this is the same thing we doing today. Right? Go ahead. Verse 27. Behold, therefore, I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee. And what? And delivered thee. And delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee. The the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way.
It's like when you, it's like, you know how like okay, I'll give you an example. You know how like where like say like a woman, she's like playing a whore, right? But then there's other women that don't even like that. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh man, you know what I mean? Like they even ashamed of you, right? Go ahead. And these are other nations. These other nations, women are ashamed of you, right? Go ahead.
Verse 28. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou wast insatiable. Yea, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied.
Right. It's like a, you know, like a right. You know how like a person who's, you know, just constantly out for sex and just can never be satisfied. You know, like a person who just got to be all the way out there, right? Somebody that's for the street, a prostitute, right? Go ahead.
Verse 29. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea. And yet thou wast not satisfied herewith. How weak is thine heart?
Say that one more time.
How weak is thine heart?
Say it one more time.
How weak is thine heart?
Right. Our leadership, they allow us to be degraded. Right? They allow us like just like degradation, like that is like what like the black race in the world, on the world stage, is like the black race on the world stage, the Hispanics on the world stage is the most degraded people on the planet, right? Because of our leadership, who accepts, you know, the oppressor's leadership as what in their dominance is what's supposed to be like what is gonna be our way out of oppression. All right, go ahead.
Saith Yahweh thy power, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious whorish woman.
Hold on, let me break this down. How weak is thine heart, saith the Lord, the Most High Power, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious whorish woman. Read on.
Verse 31. And that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thine high place in every street.
Right. So what is this? What is this talking about? It's talking about them churches, man. Them churches. We fill up these churches. We got churches on our high places is on every goddamn street. We in every, you know what I mean? We all over the place, right? And this is where we are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we play the whore with these other nations. We take on their religion. You know, we got all our, you know, our churches everywhere. And every damn where you go in the black community, there's a damn church. There's a church upstairs. It's a church down there on the corner, right? There's churches on every single block, right? And that's where we set up our high places, right? And it says, where was we at? 26?
Verse
31. Thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thine high place in every street. And go ahead.
And has not been as an harlot, in that thou scornest higher.
What does that mean? What is Christ? What is the Lord saying here? All right, I'll give it to you. What this is saying here is that we're whores, right? Like this, like us as a nation are whores, and we don't even get paid for it. We scorn is higher. Like we don't even, we want to be whores for everybody, and we don't even want nothing to, you know what I mean? We don't even want no gain from it. That's all we want to be. We scorn is higher. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, do you see the way the Lord is breaking this down? Like he's breaking it down like you're a whore that don't even want to get paid for being a whore. You know how they say that in like pimp terms, like you got a wet pee with a dry purse, right? That's what they say to a woman that's out there having sex and not even getting paid for it, right? Read on. You need a second? You need a second? You good? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
But as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband, they give gifts to all whores.
So you gotta read, man. You gotta read that. Like, they give gifts to all whores, right? But thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers, meaning the gifts that we got from the Lord, we give it to anybody that'll come take it. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, that's what our life is here. It's like, oh man, hold on. What was that dude's name? The dude's name was his name was Salakia. It's a quote from this brother, a book that he wrote. All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna get it right now. The dude's name is Salakia. Oh, okay. This guy, his name, he's an author named Amos Wilson, and he wrote a book called Blueprint for Black Power, and he referred to the Black community as economic brothels. Economic brothels, what will give it up to anybody who wants it. So that's pretty much the Black Hispanic community in a nutshell. Is like we're like our communities are like brothels, and we'll just give it up to anybody. Anybody who want to come get it, you can take it. Right? Like look at the ghetto. Look at everything. Like look at what our lack of brotherhood and sisterhood has gotten us. Like really, I'm going to take y'all through some stuff like to really make you think about like where we are today, right? To make it crystal clear in your brain, like where we are as a people. And I'm going to show you. All right, read it one more time, warrior.
Verse 30, verse 33. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers.
Meaning this, right? If you were like a man who's getting a whore, right? Every man is going to give money to a whore, right? That you want to have sex with, but you a whore and you give all your gifts to everybody who come to have sex with you. All the things all the gifts that you got, we give it to other nations. This is a heavy breakdown right here, man. Like the Lord is showing us like literally where we are, right? Just so you can really wake up and see exactly where we are as a people. Right now, we're getting better, of course, because we have like more people waking up. We got more sisters that's, trying to get their selves together, and and we got brothers that's getting themselves together. But always remember that we have a lot of way to go. You know what I'm saying? And it starts by making a change for yourself, the sister making a change and getting in here and doing what you're supposed to do, right? It starts there, all right? But as we are as a whole, right now, we got a lot of work to do, right? Read on.
And hirest them.
So you got to read it like this. They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers and hirest them. Like even though we're playing a whore, we hire them. Right? We hire like the people that come in our neighborhoods, right? Like, okay, you know what would be the problem with us coming together? It wouldn't be us. The problem wouldn't be us. The problem would be the other nations, because the other nations would figure out a way to stop it, figure out a way so it wouldn't happen, right? And that's where just remember what Paul said, because Matala Paul always go into Paul and teach about Paul in his classes, right? But remember what Paul said when he said the weapons of our warfare is not carnal, right? Y'all remember that? Right. So It's not carnal. It's like you know the biggest threat to white supremacy is black people just respecting themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like us just respecting ourselves. Us not fighting each other, not, well, of course, those things are going to happen. I mean, let's not be, crazy to think that, we're not going to have any fights or, things amongst our nation. But at the same time, being in here and being in being an Israelite, the benefit of that is that we have the ability to talk it out. We have the ability and we have channels that we can follow to get the argument or get whatever we beefing about settled, right? That's the difference. But at the same time, like, this is what's necessary, like, for us to really come together, right? We have to get these things worked on, and we have to get matter of fact, we don't even got no leadership. There's no leadership. Like, okay, outside the Isupk, I'm gonna just tell you like this: there is no leadership on the whole planet.
Right.
Black leadership. There is none. The Congressional Black Caucus is not leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like the Christian church is not leadership, because all they do is just try to minimize our issues and empower white issues. Salakia, I didn't mean to say the word white. But that's what the whole thing is about. It's about them minimizing our issues, magnifying their issues, and then staying far away from us, right? Because the leadership, they not around us in the ghetto. They're at the, out in, Calabasas. They ain't not around the people. And this is what they do. All right? Go ahead, keep reading, warrior.
That they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom.
Say that one more time.
That they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom.
Right, because everybody wants to have sex with a whore, right? In the world. It's like, when you're in the world, it's like, well, man, she giving it up? All right, let me see what's up, right? I mean, and this is how the other nations look at it, like, well, damn, well, you can go into their neighborhoods that's, that's dangerous, and they shoot and kill it, and I can go there and I can set up a shop and I can, completely make all the money, and they won't do nothing about it while they're fighting over $10, $20 on the corner. I can actually make $500,000 a year off of selling chicken. And yeah, everybody, it's a no-brainer, right? It's some people that's in New Delhi right now trying to get a passport, trying to get a work visa so they can come over here and open up a business. You know why? Because they heard about niggas in the ghetto over there in New Delhi. They heard about niggas in the ghetto over in in those Arab countries. You think they don't know? They know exactly where we at. And they know that if they want to prosper, they have to come here and find us, and they have to go ahead and open businesses, because we're a whore that'll let anybody come take it. Right? All right, read on, warrior.
Verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredom.
Right. Okay. And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms. You know why? Because the other women that's whores, they getting paid for it and compensated. we're contrary to that, because we're being whores and we're not even doing what you're supposed to do if you are one, right? We don't even do. Do you see what the Lord is breaking down right here? Y'all feel this? All right, go ahead, read on.
Whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms,
Mm-hmm.
and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee.
Right. So what the reward we giving is we allowing everybody to F.
Right.
We're allowing everybody to F. That's the reward for them. But what reward are we getting? Right? What are we benefiting out of the deal? Right? We don't benefit anything out of the deal. Seemed like a crazy deal to me, right? Don't that seem like a crazy deal to you? I mean, if we gonna let everybody F, then we should at least, get something out of it, right? This is what we got to understand, right? Is that we have to literally be out of our minds for white supremacy to even flourish. Like, we literally have to be out of our minds to make it for it to even work, right? For it to even be a system, we have to literally be out of our minds. And how are we out of our minds? Because we follow after the same old nonsense. We go for the same okie doke every single year. We you know what it is, Matazapa? This is what it is, Matazapa. We don't see ourselves as a nation. Right? You know why how I know we don't see ourselves as a nation? We don't see ourselves as a nation because we still think the American government is our government. Right? We still think the American government is our government. We think the Constitution is our Constitution. We think that politicians are our politicians. Black politicians don't mean anything, right? And they don't mean anything in the economic status that we have or the status quo of anything. They mean nothing, right? And even if you do, you know the leaders that we get the leaders who they say is our leaders, right? Because the people that that did think a little free, Bobby Seale, you know what I mean? You had like the Black Panther Party, you had Stokely Carmichael, you had Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? You had leaders that were in history that we had, right? That was a little bit more free thinking than your traditional leader, right? And they got rid of all of them, right? And the only ones that they kept was the ones that they was able to, shape their legacy in a way that would make us more docile, in the grand scheme of things, right? So, let's fix my shield. All right. And so we got to be out of our minds to think that, this system is ever going to work for us. What we got to do is we got to separate our mind, separate our spirit, go back to our natural mind, right? What our natural mind is the understanding that we have to build up our communities, right? Build up our people and only be concerned with anything that's going to be the well-being of our people. We got to put our people first over everything, right? Not consider the lives of other people. Not because you know what, Matata Pa, like, you know how like we'll like we see like other nations that are separated, like the Arabs, and we cool with them being separated, right? We cool with the Chinese being separated, they being separated. We cool with the East Indians being separated and doing their things. But when it comes to us, it's like we feel that we can't separate because that would be racist, right? Like if we did the same thing that we see everybody else do, that would make us racist. And that's because in our minds as a people, our leadership, that's completely because we're not out here to actually get anything but love from the other nations. That's all we want is to be loved. Ain't that whack? Ain't that whack? That's whack as hell. Like literally all we want to do is get loved. Like we're fighting to get love. Like literally that's everything we're doing. We shall all day long. Here we go again. Another man got killed by the police. But really, I don't. So we out there. So what we protesting for? We protesting for reform, police reform. So Mataziala. So we're okay. So we're fighting. We're protesting for police reform in a place where a grown racist man can hunt down a 17-year-old kid, and it's validated by the government. You know what I mean? By the system, it's validated. So we're going to try to get the same system that will validate white supremacists, 3 white supremacists who ran down Ahmaud Arbery and shot him for jogging through a damn neighborhood. So we're supposed to get police reform from a nation that will rationalize that. Remember what I said? We have to literally be stupid to think that something is going to change. All right, let's get back into it. All right, Salakia. Mm-hmm. All right, I believe you was at. Let's take it from 34, Warrior.
Verse 30, book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 34.
Right on.
And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredom.
Uh-huh.
Whereas none follows thee to commit whoredom.
Uh-huh.
And in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee.
Right. We don't get nothing. We don't get nothing by being on the bottom. We don't get nothing from these other nations for even cracking open our behind. Right? We don't even get anything from it. Right? Read on.
Therefore thou art contrary.
Say it again. What did the Lord say?
Therefore thou art contrary.
You're contrary to even what it means to even be a hoe.
Right.
That's what you're contrary. You just a hoe. Just like the Lord is hardcore with this right here. Like the way the Lord is breaking this down is like the Lord is saying you a hoe that ain't even doing what you're supposed to do as a hoe. If you're gonna be a hoe, at least get paid for it. At least make it beneficial for your lifestyle. At least make sure that you benefit from it. And you're not even doing that, right? Like this is so hardcore. All right, go ahead.
Verse 35. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh thy power, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations.
Because we love idols, man. Well, we just was celebrating Halloween, and what everybody about to celebrate? Thanksgiving. Right. It doesn't matter how many times we tell you to stop celebrating Thanksgiving, you just got to get some cranberry sauce. Like you just got to get turkey. Like, I mean, I know I eat turkey wings, right? Throughout the year, right? It's not a big deal. It's just turkey. That's all it is. And we got to stop thinking, and women got to stop blaming it on the children. Cut it out. Stop blaming it on the children. Look, you want to do Halloween. You want to do it. You want to dress up like a character and waste all your damn money because you want to go out and get candy and you a grown-ass woman. Salakia. You 40, 30, 50, and all that, and you still want to go out and celebrate Halloween. Right. Stop blaming it on the children. All right? And this is what we love to do, man. We got so many idols, man. We love to worship everything. We love to worship sage and beans. We'll worship anything. Crystals. I seen a girl at Cowtown, and all she was selling was crystals, all right. What she was selling was she was black business, all right? She was black business, but what she was selling was stupid. You know what I mean? You're selling crystals. What, to give you good health? To get money? What kind of crystals I need? I need a yacht. What kind of crystals do I need? All right? Like, it's all nonsense at the end of the day, right? And we try to get away from brotherhood and sisterhood. Because look, check this out, right? What happens when you don't have a leader? We have a leader in this school, right? The leader is Commanding General Yohana, right? But what happens when you don't have a leader? Anybody can jump in or whatever. What happens when you don't have a leader? Yeah.
I would say the people, the flock begin to be devoured by
Right.
those around it.
Yeah, you right. Yeah. You right. Because Akawa? Right. All of y'all was right. But when we don't have a leader, you pretty much lean on your own self-interest. So you got people that feel this way. You got people that feel this way. You got people that love the oppressor. You got people that's fighting you so that you can, so they don't put critical race theory in schools. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're going to lean, without a leader, you're going to lean more to your own self-interest and what's best, what's going to be best for you and not the collective. But having a leader, right, is going to force you to consider the welfare of the group, right, over everybody else, right? And that's what we need. We need to consider the group, right, over everybody else, right? And that's where we go wrong at, because we're divided. And because we're divided, we're able to be devoured. All right? Was there any more on that, Warrior?
And by the blood of thy children.
Say that one more time.
And by the blood of thy children.
And by the blood of our children, man. Because guess what? Who was dressed up on Halloween? Our children. We'll follow anything, and we'll get our kids to follow it too. Because we give everything over to the oppressor. Right? We give everything over to the oppressor. And the goal of the oppressor is not to empower black people.
Right.
How dumb can you be? Black Lives Matter is not to empower black people, right? A leadership is idiots, right? You know what it is? What it's set to do is it's not to empower the oppressor doesn't want to empower black people. What he wants to do is maintain the status quo of white supremacy and give you ideas of things that's not going to work. Right? That's what he's going to do. He's going to give you solutions of things that's not going to work. So what's going to happen? We're going to get police reform. Mataziala, we're going to get police reform. Right? We're going to reform the police. We're going to educate them. I said this last night on the show. We're going to educate the oppressor. So if the cop was educated on black history, the cop that killed George Floyd, he wouldn't have killed him if he was educated on black history. Right? The cop wouldn't have killed Mike Brown if he was educated on black history. Would it change things? If we would have educated them? Absolutely not. None of that would have happened. Right? Because remember, the whole job of the oppressor is not to empower you. It's to maintain the status quo of white supremacy, and in the process of that, give you solutions that's not going to work. Ain't that a very good idea that they have? Doesn't it work? Because right, they're gonna tell you to vote, right? Remember, we gotta vote the next person in, and that's gonna be the problem. We're gonna give the cops more training. Right? We're gonna give them more training. We're gonna go to divert. We're going to have diversity training. How many of y'all been to that at your job? Diversity training, right? I was there too. Diversity training. The Chinese, they're not represented in the media. They're not represented on a national scale. And guess what? They better off than we are. All right? The Chinese are better off than we are. They don't vote. They don't get into politics and all that. And guess what? There's Chinatown in every major city. Right? They don't do none of the things that we do. And they better off than we are. They're not represented in the media. Who gives a damn? But guess what? They're the number one growing minority in America. Chinese. Yep. So that shows you diversity means nothing. The whole idea of the diversity means nothing to us. Nothing at all. Diversity is diversity. Diversity is like, you know, that thing that sounds good, but it's not actually practical, right? Because you know, we somehow think that diversity is the way that we're going to be able to solve this problem, right? So no matter how segregated we are, right? No matter how much America keeps us down, no matter how much we are pushed to the back, kept down by every single nation that's here, right? We still think that there's a chance that one day everybody's just going to wake up and finally do right by Black and Hispanic people and Native Indians, right? Hopefully what I'm trying to polarize here is that to show you that what we think is going to actually work will not work. Right. The only thing that will work is us understanding that our power lies within each other. Christ gave us the prescription of how to do it, but we just don't do it because we follow after these niggas who do not have our best interests at heart. Right. All right. All right. All right, y'all. I see y'all rocking out with me tonight. Maybe it's because I'm yelling. All right. Now remember, hold on. Let me get another scripture. Slacky. I'm going in. All right. Slacky. All right. All right. Isaiah 51 and 22. Can somebody get the brother there? Isaiah 51 and 22. All right, Nahalia. Right, we don't have structure. All right, Thusium. No, he got it on there. All right, Delaware South. All right. What's going on, sis? Barack Manah in the building. All right, we're gonna be able to drop some bombs for y'all. Y'all just hold up. We about Delaware School. We about to get it popping. I'm trying to tell you, Feast of Dedication gonna be lit. Isaiah 51 and 22. Let me get there with you. All right, everybody, look. If you're at home, go to the scripture. Don't just look at the TV. Go to the scripture. Get you a pen. Write it down, all right? Get it right. Don't waste no time, all right? Because we ain't here to waste time, all right? Isaiah 51 and 22, all right? Let's get it. Let's get it, all right? Isaiah 51 and 22. This is the one I wanted you to get, Matazapah, the other week. All right? Shout out to Commander Joe Yohana, man. He let me get on the show last night again, man. That's what's up. All right. Remember, tune into Commander Joe Yohana's show every Monday night called Black Watch at 9 o'clock, man. Commander Joe Yohana, he puts a lot of work into that. And, you know, shout out to the generals, General Mahyman, General Haas, General Mayak, Yediah, Marah, Abad Hayah, and Trooper Nabah. You know what I mean? Because all those brothers collectively make the show happen. All right. So shout out to them. All right. So check it out on Monday night. Isaiah 51 and 22.
Isaiah.
You got it, Matatapa? All right, you got it. All right, no sweat.
Isaiah chapter 51, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord, thus saith thy Lord, Yahweh, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling.
Right, because it's going to be a time when we ain't going to have to go through all the things that we go through. Right? It's an easy way to freedom. And it's a hard way to freedom too. And we gonna meet those niggas that try to sell us out, man. You think the Lord, like, remember that scripture, Matalapah, where it said, when you in a room and nobody's looking, and you think that nobody's looking, the Lord can see you. And then you think that the Lord forgot about it because nobody saw you. The Lord does see you, man.
Right.
The Lord see you. And a lot of times, like, you know, like the scripture saying is like that cup, man, is going to be taken out of our hands, man. We're gonna finally get ourselves right. And a lot of these cats, man, a lot of our entertainers, like entertainers. We're the only race of people where our athletes have so much influence over our people. Michael Jordan. Everybody wanted to be like Mike, right? Remember what I was about? Nobody should want to be like Mike. Because Michael Jordan being, okay, all right, okay, you're going to have people that's going to say, well, why are you talking about the celebrities? Right? The celebrities are held to a higher standard, right? Because, nigga, you got 2 million followers on Instagram and Twitter. You got hey, Matalaba, you got 2 million on Instagram and you got 4 million on Twitter. And I got 10 followers. Nigga, you held to a higher standard. So yeah, Michael Jordan should be criticized every chance we get. He should be criticized. Why? Because nigga, you have more of an influence that you could change the narrative of what's going on out here. Everybody want to be like Mike. Even white people want to be like Mike. But Mike, what did Michael Jordan do when everything was going on? He didn't say a damn thing. Maybe it was because he got a white wife. Maybe that's it, right? Why would he say anything? I mean, who the hell cares, right? Nobody cares about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? You know what he could have did? He could have said, you know what? I'm selling all my shoes at Payless, right? And really gave him a problem. I mean, damn. I mean, he could even speak out now and say, look, man, look, you know, what's going on with my people? This is crazy. But you know what? You know, he'll never say anything because remember, we got everything. Okay. Salaki, I know I'm kind of coming up with these thoughts, but I don't want to lose these thoughts that I have in my brain right now. All right. So, all right, when you look at the what we got, black billionaires, right? How many black billionaires we got in Israel? Let me see. How many black billionaires are there?
According to Afrotech, according to Forbes' 2021 World's Billionaires list, there are 724 billionaires in America, yet only 7 of them are black.
Okay, 7 of them are black. We got 7 black billionaires, all right? All right, we got 7 black billionaires. How many black millionaires do we have?
According to Essence, though there are just 15 black people among the world's estimated 2,755 billionaires, fortunately, the list is growing. If you've ever wondered how many black people are in the 1% of the world's most wealthy, well, there are just under 20.
Okay, no, this is a lie. It is not just no 20 millionaires, and like even Google is racist. There is There's way more than 20 millionaires, black millionaires in the world. Come on now. Cryptocurrency makes, they say cryptocurrency makes 800 millionaires a day. Come on now. That's ridiculous. All right. So we won't go with Google on this one. But my point is to say that if we have the money, right? Because we got the money as black people, right? We got money. So the black billionaires and the millionaires of Israel, they could completely dominate the market, right? They could dominate the market because, okay, when you look at Arabs, right? They dominate the Arab market, right? White people, they dominate the white market. The European market, they dominate, right? Michael Kors, Balenciaga, right? They dominate the market. The Chinese, they dominate the market. But when it comes to, because like, okay, so the black billionaires and the millionaires that are in Israel, they could completely provide everything that we need. Right. Everything we need. Clothing, right? Anything the day-to-day, right? They could do it. But how come we have what? How much are black people worth? What? Like $1 trillion? Right? Let me see. How much did black people spend last year, 2020? Okay, so okay, it says black consumers have been overlooked by always, right? Okay. Let's say, okay, so let's say, okay, this is saying 300 billion. 300 billion, okay. Let me see, but that was 2019. Okay, let's see this one. Let me see. People of color have more spending power than ever. So like, if y'all see anything, let me know. I don't see no numbers on there. The first one I seen was, it said 300 billion. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go with 300 billion. All right. All right. 300 billion. All right. That's the lowest number I saw. I know it's more than that. I know it's like it's like $1 trillion, right? That black people have as spending power. So out of that spending power, we actually have all the money necessary for us to be, self-sufficient. But how are we have all the money in the world, all the spending power in the world? Go ahead.
I got it from news1.com. It says I've just seen what you were looking for. I'm just gonna read it, sir.
Go. You got it, Warrior.
The wealth of black people in America and the gap between other racial groups has been well documented.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean black folks don't have any money to spend.
Uh-huh.
Even though the racial wealth gap is actually widening, black people can spend money with the best of them. Statistics show.
Mm-hmm.
Says, with Black History Month upon us, we take a closer look at the spending habits of Black America by the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And with nearly 50 million black people in the United States, black consumers spend more than $1 trillion a year.
One what?
$1 trillion a year.
Say it for young man Steve.
Black consumers spend more than $1 trillion a year.
$1 trillion a year. So why, if the whites dominate the market, the Arabs dominate their market, the East Indians dominate their market, the Africans dominate their market, why our market is consumers? Right. Consumerism. Why are we consumers? If every nation dominates their own market, and we don't have any market, so what are we? Consumers. This is why we're able to be exploited by every nation. We're able to be exploited on a global level. We're exploited, and that's the truth. It's where we are. We work against our own interests, and since we work against our own interests, we're allowed to be exploited by every nation. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's whack that I gotta even like make the picture clear for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we're able to be exploited, because we give away our interest is not our own interest. Our interest is the interest of the oppressor. And we feel that if we can put his interest over our interest, then we'll be better off. Because our leadership lacks the courage to stand up. They lack it. And that's why we jacked up right now. All right, could you go back to the scripture, please, Salakia? Hey, I don't know. That Delectable Negro book got me going. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter.
Right. So while you're getting that, and that's really what we do. We work against our own interests, and and the only thing that we want in return from working against our own interests as a nation is to be loved by the other nations. All right, go ahead and talk about Salaki.
Isaiah chapter 51, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith the Lord, Salaki, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, and thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again.
That's right.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
Right. Say that one more time.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict
the
thee.
Chinese,
That afflict thee.
the Japanese,
That afflict thee.
the Africans,
Them that afflict thee.
the North Koreans,
Them that afflict
the South Koreans,
them that afflict thee.
the Americans,
Them that afflict thee.
the Canadians,
Them that afflict thee.
the Russians,
Them that afflict thee.
which
Which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over.
That we may go over. This is how every nation looks at us. Bow down. That's how they say to our soul. Bow down so that we can go over. Go ahead and talk about.
And thou hast laid thy body as the ground.
And we laid our body as the ground. Read on.
And as the street.
And as the what?
As the street.
What do you walk on?
Street.
You walk on the ground and the street. Read on.
To them that went over.
And that's what we have digressed to. Being a goddamn sidewalk to the other nations. And this ain't me saying it, it's the Lord saying it. The Lord is saying this is where y'all have gotten because you don't want to listen. Because you want to believe in dreams. We want to believe Martin Luther King's dream. We want to believe every stinking weasel who gets up there with a goddamn platform. That's what we do. This is what we believe in. We believe that if we vote, that the next person is going to do what right by us. And this is why Joe Biden is not going to do nothing. And this is why, like, the Lord gives us exactly what we want. That's gangster right there. You know what's so gangster about the Most High? Is he'll give you what you want just to show you that that's not what you want. The only thing is we stuck with it for 3 more years. 3 more years. Hold on, how much is 365 divided by 3? I mean, times 3. Hold on. Salakia, y'all. Hold on. Let me go to my calculator. 365 times 3, 1,095 more days of Joe Biden. 1,095 more days. You're gonna suffer. And you're gonna look at all the things that he's gonna do for everybody else and not you. That's what's gonna happen. You got 1,000 more days. So what will he do in the 1,000 days? He'll come and eat a piece of chicken. He'll come and sprinkle some hot sauce on the chicken because, he knows that that's what you like. He knows that, our nation is dumb and emotional by nature, right? Because of captivity, right? Every mental issue that we have, let's just address it. The mental issues that we have in our nation is not because you got mental problems. No, you got mental problems because of captivity.
Right.
You've been in captivity long. And everything that we go through is because we are in slavery. And by proxy, mental issues are a result. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what is going on. Let's address the big red dog, Clifford, right? Let's address Clifford. Let's see what it really is. We're talking about Clifford. Let's not the elephant, right? We ain't gonna go there. Not the elephant. Let's not address the elephant. Let's address the big red dog in the building, in the room. And that is that, nigga, we captives. And the whole idea of voting, the whole idea of trying to go towards the political system is the idea of trusting in white supremacy. That at some point it's going to do right by you, and at some point it's not going to be a system that's going to be systematic against you. Because we ain't got no leader. So what? We just go, like I said, our own interests. Right? And by proxy, what happens? We lay down and we let everybody walk over us. I'm a little hungry right now. So if I want to eat, I got to go somewhere to go get it, right? Right. And who's going to be able to accompany me in my quest for some chicken wings? The East Indians, the Arabs. Somebody like that, right? Unless, I'm a rib cook or something like that. But you get my point. No. All right? All right. Boom. All right, we're going to keep going. All right? Unless anybody got any questions on here. Shalom. All right, we've been holding strong. All right, young man Steve. Chase Brown. Go ahead, Mutazapa.
If I may, I had seen a video of it's on TMZ of Wyclef John, and he has what's the dude name? The CEO of like Range Rover or Land Rover or something like that on his shoulders. Then he dropped the dude, knocked the dude out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, it's not the same as you laying down on your body so you can walk over, but he is making a spectacle of himself with this dude on his freaking neck. You know what I'm saying?
And then knock him.
Then when he goes to put him down, he puts him down this way. You know what I'm saying?
Save that for the show. We'll definitely get into that. All right, let me show y'all something. All right, wake up. Let me show y'all something. All right. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Now, it's going to be hard for y'all to get through it, all right? It's going to be hard, all right? But I'm warning you now. It's going to be hard to get through, right? But we got to get through it, all right? I'm going to play it in parts because I don't want them to flag me or flag this channel, all right? All right. This is hard. So here we go. Let me just bring it up in the stream. All right, I'm going to mute my mic so that y'all can see it, all right? And I'm going to make the screen big so that they don't have to see me. All right. No, not the Popeyes joint. All right, here we go.
Racism is embedded in legal systems and policies in the United States.
And you can't get away from that. It is
Mom for Liberty, and she joins us right now. Keisha, glad to have you in Roland Martin Unfiltered. First and foremost, what exactly is critical race theory, and is it being where was it being taught in Florida schools?
So critical race theory is the idea that America, the foundation of America is racism is ingrained into the
Salaki, I'm
foundation,
going to
and
put
it
up something
cannot
over
be
the
removed.
screen, all right?
And so the outworkings of that today and in classrooms is that this is a very simple way to say it, but white heterosexual men, able-bodied, are deemed the oppressors, and everyone else is deemed oppressed. And you can't get away from that. It is what it is because of the idea that racism is ingrained into the fabric of America, that you can't repent from it, you can't move forward from it, and it's there to stay.
Actually, what you just said is not true. So this is what the folks at Ed Week have laid out. Critical race theory is an academic concept that is more than 40 years old. The core idea is that racism is a social construct. Is that true or false? Is racism a social construct?
I do believe that, yes, racism is a social.
All right. And it says that it is not merely the product of individual bias or prejudice, but also something embedded in legal systems and policies. Do you believe that racism is embedded in legal systems and policies in the United States?
I do not.
Do you believe that racism is embedded in housing policies in the United States?
No, because people run these systems. And so we would have to say that racism is embedded into people if we are going to say it's embedded into these systems.
Well,
so abstract, they are actually run by human beings.
But if the individuals are actually running the system and then it's being implemented, then it's still in the system. So, for instance, when you talk about housing in your state of Florida, there have been stories where African Americans, there was one woman who was married to a white gentleman where an appraiser came out to their home and gave them a far less value on their home when they removed all of everything in their house that identified as Black, then a second appraiser came out, there was a higher valuation on their home. Is that racism?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I certainly know that racism exists.
But hold on, you're not sure. You're not sure that if an appraiser comes out and gives a lower home appraisal, and after meeting the Black woman, the Black wife, but then when they brought a second appraiser out, the Black wife was nowhere to be found. They removed all pictures of her in the home. They removed anything Black art or whatever. Then all of a sudden there was a higher appraisal value. Same house, exact same house. But all of a sudden it got a higher appraisal value. Is that not racism in housing?
For me, I would have to have more information. That doesn't necessarily mean that it could be racism.
Well, what do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I don't know, but I wasn't there. I would have, for me, I would have to have more information.
So let me ask you this question: Do you believe that systematic redlining of communities where Black people live, is that racism?
Redlining?
Yes.
Yes, that was racism.
Isn't that systematic? Because that was a system that was actually imposed by banks. It was imposed by the federal government. It was actually a part of federal policy. Is that not racism?
That was the law at a point in time. However, today in 2021, where we have many more diverse people that run these corporations, we have much more of a diverse. My bottom line is America has progressed. We are not the same country that we were.
Of course not. But
All right, so I had to put the thing up, like the root of speech joint. I had to put that up just so that you wouldn't see the Roland Martin joint. Maybe to try to fool the algorithm or whatever. But so that's why I put it up. But do y'all see where like do you see like what it is like? She's really standing up to try to stop critical race theory in schools being taught. She doesn't want her kids to learn about slavery. She doesn't want her kids to learn about all the atrocities that the oppressor has committed against our people. And she's actually on there fighting for it too. She's on Fox News right now. She's on Fox News. Like they're giving her all the airtime right now. Because that's what they allow. They allow you to get up there like looking like a damn dummy. And I guarantee you she don't got a man. I guarantee I'm saying it right now. She don't have a husband. I know she don't have a husband. Go ahead.
And if she does, sir, he's Caucasian.
Right. And if she does, he's Caucasian. This is what the scripture just said, right? Don't we lay down? Like white supremacy will deflect. They always try to deflect. They don't want black people, talking about, and really, challenging, how they really are in society. They don't. That's something that you can't do. But if you're willing to talk about it, like the Stephen A. Smiths, right? The Jason Whitlocks, who I'm talking about, the Daryl Scotts, the Mark Burns, all of them. What's the other one? What's the other one? Clarence Thomas. Is that one of them? Yeah. Who's the dude from DC?
They ran him off the block. He took over a church and
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Ah, man, I can't think of his name. But this Candace Owens, Jamal Bryant, Candace Owens, Stacey Dash, right? They get a pass to get up there and talk about black people all day because you can talk about that's the status quo with media. You can get up there and talk about black people all day, but you better not get up there and say nothing about white people. Because if you do, your job is in jeopardy. And we'll cancel you. Go ahead.
It boggled my mind when she tried to separate the people from the institution of racism. Like the institution of racism can't continue without the people. Like she actually separated the two. Like, well, I would have to know more. Like, what more do you need?
Right. And and I'm not a big fan of Roland Martin. Because some of the things he's done in the past, of course, but at the same time, he was on it on this one. Right. What the hell are you talking about? This is why. This is why the Lord is raising up the men. The Lord is raising up strong men that's not going to get on TV and say this stuff right here. Right? This is what we're getting right now. She got the world stage right now, and she's on there talking stupid.
Right.
And that's what they like, man. They like for a nigga to get on there and woo, the butter biscuits are real buttery today. They love that. This is the this is agents for white supremacy. Right? And straight up, man, our leadership, they don't promote us getting free from white supremacy. You know what our leadership promotes? They promote stupidity. To be stupid as hell. And then as soon as you get on there to say that kind of stuff, I know somebody somewhere, some leader somewhere is like, yeah, what the sister's saying is heavy. What the sister's bringing out is so heavy. Like a damn idiot, man. I remember this dude, the brother that I was reading about. He said it's like reactionary. what's it called? It's called reactionary nationalism. Like that's like we'll go like we'll like nationalism is like where we're gonna consider like our welfare over everybody and nobody else, right? But like reactionary nationalism is more so like where any way that they push you is the way you're gonna go. So if it's the Democratic Party, we'll go with the Democratic views. If the Republican Party wins, we'll be the GOP. Like whatever, like whoever wins out of either side of the oppressor, that's the way we'll go. So whatever way they want us to go is the way that we'll go with how we think that black people should go. Right? And that's what he called reactionary nationalism. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Reactionary nationalism. All right. So let me get another scripture for you. All right. So the scripture I want is Salakia. One second. All right, so let me see. Go to my notes. All right, so Jeremiah 2:14, and then I'm gonna go one more after that. Jeremiah 2:14.
Jeremiah 2:14.
So remember, what the class is about getting back to our natural mind. You know, and because like the way we are right now is we out of our mind. Right. The very basic natural things that a man and a woman should want in their nation is to grow their nation and to, be at the forefront of everything that their nation is supposed to get, right? Not being, down for, other nations of what they should get over us and, putting their welfare above ours. The natural thing should always be the benefit of your people. In the nation of Israel, that's the natural thing that we should always want is our people to be over everybody. Not everybody over us. Not laying down so that we could, be loved by other nations. We should not seek love from other nations. We should not give a damn about how they feel about us. Right? It should be very practical that we would want to consider the lives of our own over everybody else's. Right? That's what we should want. That's practical. That's natural. All right? Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Is Israel a servant?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Yeah. Yeah. Like black men, our balls been cut off by our parents.
Right.
Our parents cut our balls off. The men, they cut them off. Neutered. You've been neutered. You've been neutered by your parents. You know why? Because of the leadership that they was under.
Right.
The leadership that they was under caused them to neuter you. And if you don't watch it and you don't get in here, then you're going to neuter your kids too. You're going to cut their balls right off. And guess what's going to happen? The cycle of white supremacy is going to continue because you're not strong at all. Read it one more time. Are we what?
Is Israel a servant? is he a homeborn slave?
Mm-hmm.
Why is he spoiled?
Right. We got weak leaders. You know, like being weak under white supremacy, being weak under the oppressor, it doesn't make us safer. It doesn't make us safer. You know what it does? It just makes them feel more comfortable. Makes white men feel comfortable by not having competition. Right? It makes them feel comfortable because they don't have any competition. Because you just lay down and let everybody walk over you like the ground in the street. Nigga, you ain't no competition to me. You just, something I can walk over. And what does that make them feel comfortable? Because that's what our existence here is in America, right? Is to make them feel comfortable. When you don't wear an afro to work, you're making them feel comfortable. Right. When you get access to the radio and you don't turn on rap music, you're making them feel comfortable. When you don't, be how you really are, you make them feel comfortable. Right? So anything that you have the option to do, then don't do it. Right? Meaning you have the option to celebrate Christmas. Don't do it. You got the option to celebrate Valentine's Day. Don't do it. You got the option to celebrate Halloween. Don't do it. You got the option to celebrate New Year's Eve. Don't do it. Right? Anything that you got the option to do in this kingdom, don't do it. You'll be all right. You'll be in the game. Right? Because we got the option to vote, don't we? But, we still vote because we feel like we don't have an option not to vote. I got this written down. And it's nobody else's responsibility to protect us. It's nobody else's responsibility to educate us, right? Because we do that for sure. We run to the other nations to educate us. Right. We run to the other nations to give us, fair housing. We run to the other nations to give us everything. And it's not their job to do that for us. It's our job to educate ourselves. It's our job to create housing for ourselves. It's our job to create economic structure. It's our job to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's our job to separate ourselves. And if we can't do those things, then we are not winning. We're going to go into 2022 worse than when we went into 2021. And on top of that, you got the coronavirus. So unless we come back and we figure out what we're supposed to do, and hopefully with these classes, man, hopefully you can learn, because that's what I'm going to do. For these classes that I'm gonna do, and we're gonna turn it up, man. We're gonna turn it up after the Feast of Dedication. We're gonna turn it up. I'm trying to tell you, y'all better stay tuned, man, and start locking in now. We're gonna turn it up, man. We got 34 people in here. We lit tonight. All right, we're gonna turn it up, and it's not gonna stop. We ain't turn down for what? Ain't that with what's his name? Damn, what's his name? Lil Jon said. He said, turn down for what? And we ain't turning down, man. We can't solve our problems by begging for every damn thing. Begging for education, begging for better jobs, begging for health care. Maybe if the rich of Israel would use the $1 trillion that they have amongst themselves, maybe they can build some hospitals so that we don't have to worry about, being skeptical of healthcare, skeptical of, the oppressor working on us. Maybe we can have our own, hospitals. Maybe we can create our own hotels so we don't got to stay in their hotels. Maybe we can create our own social media platforms so we can say whatever the hell we want. And we don't have to be held to the standard of white supremacy. Because that's what rules in America. And until we understand that, we'll be ruled by it, because our leadership ain't nothing. There is no leadership in the world but the ISUPK. That's it, right? That's Black Power, right? You wanted to know what Black Power was. That's what it is. right? Commander Joe Miyahana is the leader. And if you can understand that, you can get your behind under this boulder that we're holding up. Right. It's heavy as hell, right? You get underneath of it and hold it up. Help us hold it up. And we'll be good to go, man. Then we can finally get out of here. But we can't get out of here if we don't have no leader. We don't have nothing. Who else? Who puts their women, like, think of this, right? Like, who came up with toxic masculinity? Who came up with that talking point? Matasha Power brings this out all the time. Who came up, like, you ever notice, like, we come up with the same talking points of, like, Europeans. I'm going to start saying that. The same talking, who said masculinity was toxic? Who said that? What nation, all right, I'm going to ask the class this question. What nation puts their women out front that's ruling right now? Name one of them. I'll wait. Name one nation that does that. Because the North Koreans don't do that. The Russians don't do that. The Africans don't do that. What nation puts their women out first? Black people. That's who do it. Why? Because our leadership is effeminate. And we don't have none. Because all the leadership is liberal, goddamn, because that's all you got in the political system is just liberal and conservatives. But that's all they are. Or the Democratic Party is black leadership. The church is black leadership. And they ain't nothing but puppets from white supremacy. Right. Our leadership is who they tell us our leadership is. It's not it's not somebody that's going to think free of the system. So what they're going to do? They're going to tell you to go out and vote. They're going to tell you to we live in a hashtag culture. Ain't that what we live in? Hashtag, rock the vote. Hashtag let freedom ring. We live in a hashtag culture. All right? So hopefully, man, I got so much more. I was over prepared for this class, but I'm gonna yield my time. I'm gonna yield my time because I just want to pretty much just leave y'all there. And I hopefully this class will give you a clear picture of where we are in the world, right? Where we are as a people. Yeah, we in the truth. Yeah, it's what? 35 people on here. Yeah, we in the truth. Yeah, I hear that. We in here. But where are our people at? The other 16 million people at? Where they at? You know where they at? They in the dope house. They on the pole. Right? They in the they somewhere, not giving a damn about nothing that's going on around them. So what is your burden? The burden of us is to go back and reach back into hell and get our people out of it. Right. All right. And next week, man, Lord allow, man, I'll be teaching next Thursday. So I'll be bringing out some more information. Matasha Pa is going to hold it down Thursday. And I'm going to bring up Precinct Officer Matazi Allah. Can you turn the camera on Matasha Pa?
Isupk security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means tent in Hebrew, my Isupk. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds is a free will offering for the priests, not mandatory. It's whatever amount you'd like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Feast of Dedication coming up Sunday, the 28th, November 28th at sundown. And we also have, we're going to be cleaning the temple out on Thursday, the 25th.
If I could, Salaki, and women, the sisters in the school, y'all are invited to come and help clean up and get everything ready, right? I'm pretty sure you could grab a paintbrush. Salaki. Yeah, you just make the screen. Yeah, you're allowed to come. All right, so you are allowed to come so that we can rededicate the temple back to the Most High. All right, so that you know what that means. That means cleaning. That means shining, painting. You know, deep cleaning. Right. That means get all the spider webs out of the cracks. All right, that's what that means. All right. It's like it.
Anyone wants to be a trooper in school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, Amajim, which means to stand, going to give the teacher a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Rakatah,
Yazmatah, Saw, which means to turn and face the sisters. Going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shemar Alatham Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Yazmatah, class dismissed.
Go to sleep, man. Y'all go home and get some sleep.